South Carolina is like one of those teams that nobody really talks about. They don't really have any. They have a couple of named players, and that's about it. But they're like more than the sum of their parts, and so nobody gives them a lot of attention. What do you think makes them such a juggernaut? And what are the characteristics that make them so dominant?
They have a mixture of talent on their team. So they have obviously their big center in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got height, which is always a plus. And then you have athleticism, right? So now you've got Hawkeyes on the floor. What you have 20 boards tonight. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Malaysia Full Wiley on the perimeter. And then you've got your blue collar point guard who just wants to dish the ball out in Raven. So, and then your shooter in Bree, right? And then your shooter in Pow. So they have like a well-balanced team in regards to having every piece. You've got your height, you got your athleticism, you got your shooters, you got your point guard. So that's why I feel like they're just an overall good, solid team. Like they're just a solid team where you either have to be shooting well or you got to catch them on an off night, right? Because they just have a good, solid team where weaknesses are not just, they don't have a lot of them. So in that aspect, again, our weakness is our height. That's just a fact. Our height, we ain't got no height. So with them, I feel like that's why they're so good as well-roundedness. That's a word.
Does Iowa have any advantages over South Carolina? Because I can picture the ESPN pregame show giving their picks on Sunday. All of them are going to go down the line and say South Carolina for a number of reasons. Aside from Clark, is there any advantage that we have on them?
Maturity.
Okay. How far does that get?
Which goes a long way. At the end of the day, it's what's got us many wins. So at the end of the day, it does go a long way. It's just the simple fact of that. I've said this before about South Carolina. One of their downfalls is that they are very immature and they have trouble sometimes with staying locked in. The thing with Iowa is that if you let us get hot or if you have a lapse in judgment, that is a 3 going up. You cannot lack judgment or lack focus on Caitlin Clark. You can't, because if you do, she is going to make you pay for it. We are going to make you pay for it. And then before you know it, we're up 12. So I think for them, that is going to be what Dawn is going to be harping on, staying locked in for 40 minutes. If that's not her, I would bet everything I have that is what her slogan is for our game. It's staying locked in because they have troubles doing that. They struggle in the first half a lot of the times, or they struggle in a couple quarters and then they turn it on. They go 29 and 6 in the third quarter versus NC State. Like what? Like things like that. So I think our maturity would go a long way because they're going to punch us in the mouth at some point. So do we die like NC State did? Or does our maturity say keep fighting and when we come back? Or whatever that looks like. Maybe we're up and they come back. Whatever it is, our maturity has to be there.
Is there anybody like who's going to draw the assignment on Clark, do you believe, at the beginning of the game? And are there anybody like Nika Milton?
Nah, no. I don't think so. That depends. If they want to put height on her, they'll probably go Bree, or they'll put Raven on her. So one of those two, they could always switch it up and put Hawkeyes on her too, but that's a bold move. So, yeah, she's got her pick of the litter.
Okay.
But Wally cannot be on her. Absolutely not.
Final question. Hannah Stuelke obviously had a big game, and some people have even been saying that she took a gigantic step forward in her coming of age game tonight. How well will she stack up against the South Carolina bigs?
I think that That's going to be a very tough offensive night for Hannah. Once Cardoso is on the bench, however, I think she can be aggressive. But being aggressive against her is going to be very tough because that you're giving up 5 inches, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure how tall Hannah is, but 5 inches with her long wingspan at that, that's a tough one. So I don't foresee Hannah having a 23, 24-point game unless she's getting it in transition. So, but her being effective on the block that's not happening. If she's in the high post, Carmilla's just going to be sitting in the paint ready and waiting. So, because she doesn't have a jump shot. So I think she's going to struggle offensively.
Want to thank our sponsor here from the Hawkeye of the Storm, Under the Kitchen. Randy Engel has been with us through it all. We appreciate Randy and his awesome artwork down in Des Moines. Check it out if you haven't already done so. Visit Under the Kitchen on Facebook, or you can also visit his new website. It's underthekitchen.square.site. This is a way you can support NIL and the Iowa Athletes Plus. You're supporting this show and a small business down in Mitchellville. Again, that's underthekitchen.square.site. Thank you to Randy Engel at Under the Kitchen in Mitchellville.
Big on big. We can't compete, but looking at how we trap down on the big when they get the ball, especially if they handle the pass and it's low or it's about pass, and with the way we trap down, I mean, where can we have success in defending their monster center? It's going to have to be trapping down, isn't it? I mean, we have to harass her with multiple bodies.
Yeah, so that's a great question about Camilla Cardoso and trapping and just trying to figure out a way to disrupt what she gives you size-wise and skill-wise, because she's developed a lot of as it relates to offensive game since Iowa saw her a year ago.
Yeah, she has. Definitely. She's gotten a lot better. I think, whatever defense we decide to run, we have to be forward thinking. So we have to anticipate. We cannot react in whatever defense we do, whether it's trapping, whether it's being active, whatever it is that they come up with, it has got to be forward thinking. If we are reacting to everything that they do, we are going to be in trouble.
Let's just hope that let's hope we're talking about something really amazing after the game on Sunday.
God.
Can you give me this is my last question. Give me a percentage chance Iowa wins Sunday. And be objective here. Be objective. What you think is going to happen, not what you hope is going to happen.
Those are way two different percentages. You're absolutely right. 30%.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go 35. I'll go 35. It's the Caitlin Clark.
Did you go 35 because I went 30? Or was that in your head beforehand?
I'm like those people on The Price is Right that always bid $1 more than the previous contestant. Always.
You're like 30, 31.
Yeah,
30, and 1 cent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All right,
well,
folks.
I guess we're going to see.
Thank you all for being here. It's been a pleasure. Brian.
Let's shock the world.
Shock the world, Brian. Thank you. WNBA needed Clark more than Clark does. All right. Thank you, Brian, for that comment. And everybody on Sunday, enjoy your Saturday. We'll talk about national championship basketball on Sunday.